Welcome and thank you for joining Diaries of an Ex-Adult Entertainer with Robyn Robbins, the podcast, where we have real, raw, and uncut conversations about transforming negative experiences. Get ready to be empowered to take inspired action to heal, activate inner liberation, and birth your new. Hey, and welcome back to Diaries of an Ex-Adult Entertainer. It is your illustrious, vivacious host, moi, Robyn Robbins, the midwife. And y'all, I am so excited. I'm super duper excited about this reboot, this reloaded, next level, next version of this podcast. I'm so excited. I thank you all for subscribing. I thank you for your patience. But I had to bring it up a notch. Another notch. We just got to do what we got to do out here, okay? So, for those of you that are not familiar with me, for those of you who are new to this podcast, I am Robyn Robbins, founder and CEO of Robyn Robbins Enterprises, where I faithfully, humbly, and excitedly serve as a certified master life coach, empowerment teacher, thought leader, and movement storyteller. I am affectionately known as the midwife due to the unmatched ability to partner alongside others and empower them to give birth and to produce their new. Listen, if you don't know, now you know. Transforming negative experiences is my game. That's what I do. That's what I'm here for. I am all about empowering others to transform negative experiences in order for them to birth their new and live a life that they absolutely desire. A fulfilling, freeing, free-flowing, authentic life. Okay, that's what I'm in the business of doing. And again, I'm so glad that you are here. So look, let's go ahead and jump right into what I have for you for this particular podcast episode, being that it is the first one back. I'm super duper excited about that. I want to get into a little bit about, what led me here, right? Why am I so passionate about transforming negative experiences? Why am I doing this podcast? Like, what is the reason for all of this? And so really quickly, really briefly, I come from a very, very traumatic and tumultuous background where there was loads and loads and loads of cyclic abuse, mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually. We bounced around from foster home to foster home to foster home, and that right there, when all of that is happening at a very young age, it interrupts that process that we all go through as human beings, which is that pyramid, if you will, where you are establishing security, safety, love, and all those good things. All of that was interrupted because this happened to us, meaning my siblings and I, at a very young age. And so fast forward, as time keeps going on, we're in and out of these homes and all of this other stuff, and we're enduring different types of abuse. Ultimately, we wind up, with family through marriage, and we just are like, oh my God, this is an answered prayer. This is exactly where we're supposed to be. Super duper duper grateful. Yay. I remember us feeling like we were in a fairy tale. We saw this huge house and we were like, oh my God, this house is beautiful. That's it. We are here. We've arrived. We've done it. Christian-based home. We had amazing birthdays. We had amazing family gatherings and holidays. And it just seemed as though things were looking up. However, once, she started dating and stuff like that, and she decided to be with this one particular guy, things in our life shifted. our fairy tale was short-lived and all of that good stuff. And we were literally living with, I think they call it, was it Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Like, on one hand, he was the father that we always wanted and that we never had. He helped to bring balance to the home because we were living, in a very strict, Pentecostal upbringing. You know what I mean? So we didn't have the opportunity to do much, But so him coming around and being around, it gave us that balance. And we were just like so grateful for that. But on the other hand, what my adoptive mother didn't know, which was soon to find out, that she was dealing with someone that had a lot of unresolved trauma, a lot of issues. And therefore, we witnessed domestic violence in the home, him beating her and all of that, jumping in, trying to, protect her. We went through being physically abused by him as well, mentally, emotionally, physically, and then eventually sexually. All right. From there, that definitely led me back into the system where I had to fend for myself, and I got exposed to all of these things, including the adult entertainment. Right. I had a trafficking experience that I survived. Thank God for that. Fast forward, I then ultimately find myself back into adult entertainment again, right? Once I signed myself out of the system at 18 and moved down to Atlanta, Georgia, and had to literally fend, for myself as well as my sister, who was then pregnant with twins. So this whirlwind, all of these experiences, the loss, the grief, losing my biological mother at the age of 6, ultimately losing my father as well, in and out of, foster care, having these horrific experiences, all of this, right, is why I am so passionate about showing people the sacred process of transforming negative experiences. Let's just put it out there, right? Let's just face the facts. A lot of us grow up and we are groomed in this thinking that, hey, what goes on in the house stays in the house. We keep the family secrets. We do not go outside of the house and, reveal those things to other individuals. We keep it inside. We were literally psychologically groomed to take a licking and keep on moving, right? This, if we trace it, flows all the way back to slavery even, okay? All the way back to slavery. Think about it. How they broke our ancestors. Like, okay, if you don't want to do what I want you to do, then I'm going to rape your wife, or I'm going to sell your child, or vice versa. Doing things to their loved ones to break them mentally, to break their spirit, to break them so that they would become pliable, right? So that they would become cooperative, right? And so in that, we see as time moves forward and we move out of slavery, a lot of that mentality from the slave masters were passed down to our ancestors. Thus, this is how we get some of those same psychological continuums, if you will, happening within the home. So now we're no longer in slavery, but our parents would tell us things like, what goes on in this house stays in this house. You're forced to be in environments and or family gatherings with your abuser, and that's a licking that you got to take, and you got to keep on taking, right? So we're groomed, right, with these continuums of this type of thinking this type of paradigm and these type of behaviors. And so because of that, it just continues to pass on generation to generation to generation. And here we have now a more evolved people, if you will. But the reality is that, yes, people are quote unquote secure in the bag. Yes, people are quote unquote excelling and doing all of that. But at the end of the day, you're high achieving and you have accomplished a lot. But there are still unresolved negative experiences, unresolved traumas that are showing up in our day to day. Okay? And it's just the reality, y'all. And I'm not speaking at you, none of that. I'm having conversation with you as in I was one of them. I know what it's like. Okay, that was me. And even still, to some extent, I'm still a work in progress. And in certain areas of my life, I'm still working through that. Okay. It just is what it is. We've been groomed. Therapy is bad. You don't need therapy. Pray. All you need is Jesus. These types of mindsets they contribute greatly to how we show up today in society and in our culture, and how we are literally a walking functional dysfunction. It just is what it is. And so we're passing these things down to our children, where we are interacting out of the lens of trauma and or negative experiences. And so therefore, our loved ones, friends, families, people that we come into contact with don't have the amazing opportunity to meet the real you. I can think of so many times, y'all, where people did not have the opportunity to truly meet me. What they met was a version of me that was being projected through unresolved trauma. What they met was a version of me being projected through unresolved negative experiences. And so this is just one, okay, of the reasons why I am so passionate about coming alongside others and empowering others. And so this podcast, y'all, is all about us having these real, raw and uncut conversations where there's no filter. And this is why so many times we see people share their stories, right? Where they were and where they are now, right? Like, for instance, I just shared with you guys where I was, right? That part of my story, where I was. But oftentimes we hear where people were, and then we hear where they are now. Very seldom, because of, again, the way we've been groomed, do we ever see and or hear of that middle part. All of the stuff that they had to go through to get to their now. And I believe for me, you guys, that's a part of the way I am supposed to show up. How can we truly impact the lives of others, and how can we be helped and or receive the help that we need if no one is giving us an inkling and or a glimpse into that middle part? We keep just showing where I was and where I am now, but it's like what it took you to get to your now is what is actually going to help me. That's what's exactly, exactly. That's going to be the exact thing that empowers me and propels me. However, we've been groomed even in that. Oh, don't release anything until you fully overcome it. Oh, don't do this. And it's just so much, you guys. We're going to be tearing these things down throughout this podcast. And we're going to have some real conversations. We're going to have the conversations that we were taught to sweep under the rug. That part. So if you are in a space where you're like, yes, I don't want to be a walking functional dysfunction. I don't want to be someone that hides behind the achievements and the things that I've accomplished, but I want to know what real freedom is like. I want to know what it's like to just be in my everyday and be content and be happy and be free and be flowing in my true identity. Not what was pressed upon me, not what I was told I should be, not, this is me. Embracing that, loving that, receiving that, being that, feeling that, living that, and living through that, right? Listen, I call it the journey to birth her. Like I always tell my clients, you have to birth her before you birth it. What do I mean by that? Everything that we choose to attain will require something of us. It's going to require a higher version of us. Every realm, okay, every dimension that we want to be released into, that we want to access, is going to require a higher version of us. I've learned over the years. I used to think, y'all, I used to say to myself, dang, Robyn, you ain't learned your lesson. If you learned your lesson, you wouldn't be experiencing the same lessons over and over and over again. And at this particular time, I literally remember, Holy Spirit saying to me, like, you're not repeating the same lesson over and over. What you have failed to recognize is that this next level, this next place in which you're on the precipice of accessing is requiring a higher version of you. And so sometimes what appears to be the same lesson really is a similar lesson on a higher level. You get what I'm putting down? Think of it as a video game. You're playing a video game. As you beat whatever you need to beat on that level, it takes you to the next level. Now, the next level may seem similar, but there's going to be some different nuances within that level that you have to crack the code on. And this, my friend, is what I recognize in the journey of healing, activating inner liberation, matriculating, and truly transforming negative experiences and even traumatic experiences. So yeah, there are some lessons that we repeat because we haven't learned it, but discernment is going to be key. Because if there are different fashions and or nuances within that lesson, that is the indicator that you are matriculating to the next level. I kind of went left on a tangent, but I felt that in my spirit. That part, right? So again, all of these things, it's like a pot of gumbo, y'all. All of these things right through here is a contributing factor. Our mindset is a contributing factor to what we've been taught, what we believe, what has been shown to us, showcased to us, that keep us in these different places. And then some of it is our own mentality about, whatever limiting beliefs that we have and whatever blockage that we have that stops us from progressing, right? In those places that we truly do desire to progress. And then, we have the cage. I call it the cage. Excuse me, y'all. I'm going to take a swig of water. I call it the cage. And that's because a lot of the times we can be held in the prison of our experiences. As I stated before, so many times we've heard the stories of others and we have heard where they were and we have heard and seen where they are now. But very seldom do we get that in between. And that in between is what's going to help us and empower us to take that inspired action that we need to break out of cages, to break through paradigms that no longer serve us. to shed light on the things that we may be unaware of. All right. So I want to welcome you to this amazing safe space. We're going to have some amazing conversations. I'm going to end this podcast by simply sharing with you, since you know where I come from now, New York native that's gone through all of these different abusive situations and all of that good stuff, to where I am today, right? So today, I'm a coach, as you guys know. I have the amazing opportunity to wake up every day and empower other women and help them and midwife them, coach them, empower them to birth their new through my amazing proprietary midwifery push 3 system. It's a proven system that empowers people to do what I just expressed to you all. But I'm not only a coach, I not only get the opportunity to do coaching and consulting, but I'm also a best-selling author. And out of all of the books that I've ever published, the book that became an Amazon bestseller is the one on my actual personal life story, Diaries of an Ex-Adult Entertainer, My Road to Redemption, which is the name that this podcast takes after. So I am an avid writer and publisher, and I have had the opportunity to express amazing revelations and certain wisdoms, knowledges that hold the key to really accessing some amazing and beautiful things. And so I've had the opportunity to do that, right? My life by a long shot is not perfect. However, today I have that freedom. I choose that freedom. I do not entertain people, places, and or things that I feel is going to be detrimental to me, that I feel is going to make me go backwards, that I feel is, does not honor me, does not honor the space that I am in. I went from, being in adult entertainment, being a mistress and a stripper and just all those things, to becoming an author, to becoming a minister, to becoming a coach, to becoming a consultant, straight transformation. That part right there. I went from sliding down poles to fulfilling prophecy, right? Like straight transformation. And I want to share with you. Now, again, granted, your story will not be my story, of course. Everyone has something different. However, the common thread is that we all have a story. And I want to highlight and show you how things that you might have been sweeping under the rug is showing up in your life. I have this thing that I share with my clients all the time. I say, hey, what you don't deal with in life is going to show up in your business. Hey, what you don't deal with in life is going to begin to seep through and show itself in every area of your life. And so I'm just bringing you in on my personal journey, as well as bringing you in on the journeys of others. Y'all, I'm so excited. Our podcast guest lineup is going to be freaking phenomenal. We have some amazing, empowering, transformative stories that you do not want to miss out on. But yeah, this is what we're here for. So listen, I want to hear from you. What are some things that you find challenging, right? That kind of tends to show up pretty frequently. Let's talk about it. Let's have a real conversation about it. Real, raw, and uncut, okay? Truly transparent, revealing the things that are necessary, that's actually going to shift our lives and the trajectory of our lives for the better. That part. So again, thank y'all so much for tuning in on this first episode, this reboot. For those of you who are new in this episode, you got the opportunity to learn a little bit more about me, who I am, my story, what I do, and where I am now, right? Living in a beautiful home in Atlanta, Georgia, and in my purpose, living the life that I desire to live, free flowing, content, where I choose freedom every single day, where my past is not controlling me, is not dictating anything, and all of that good stuff. And I just want you. Okay. I want you to join this movement. Birth her to birth it. What you desire is requiring a higher version of you. And it's demanding that first before you are able to actually birth your it. Whether that it is a book, a business, a nonprofit, a passion project, or simply just a new life. And that's me. I don't know about y'all, but that was me. Just want to birth a new life. And I'm going to take y'all along the journey, because these are not temporary processes. As you continue to grow, remember, as long as we have breath in our bodies, we are here. We are evolving. We are growing. We're going to continue to go from glory to glory, faith to faith, glory to glory, all that good stuff, all that good jazz, right? So again, thank you for being here. And before you go, I want you to remember, you must believe in your future to outlive your past. It's available to you. Just believe it. All right. I love y'all. Hey, listen. This particular podcast is sponsored by our amazing sister company, London Latress. London Latress is an all-natural luxury cosmetic and aesthetic company, empowering you to absolutely nourish your highest self. So yes, we're welcoming all of the sophisticuties and gents who are interested in nourishing their highest self. We want to invite you to our shopping extravaganza. That's right. We're having a virtual shopping extravaganza where you will be able to personalize your gifts. That's right. We want to make the season of giving more personable for you. So we have some amazing opportunities where you will be able to shop virtually live and customize your very own gift sets and gift boxes. All right. So don't miss out. The link and the information will be in the description. Don't miss out on the opportunity to go ahead and get some personalized gifts for your loved ones this season of giving. London Latress is known for their all-natural, herb-infused, high-quality products and services. So go ahead and get into it. We got some silk, 16 ounce, 8 ounce, which is a body elixir. We even have intimate care, Yanni oil. We have Yanni foam wash, and so much more. There's some perfumes, some other amazing hair care and things of that nature. So go ahead and check out LondonLatress.com. Again, that's LondonLatress.com. Minus the www. No www. Just LondonLatress.com. Just like that. All right. Thank you so much. Now back to the podcast. Thanks for tuning into Diaries of an Ex-Adult Entertainer, the podcast. Don't forget to connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Robyn D. Robbins. Important links for this episode can be found in the description. Until next time, share this podcast with a friend. Hugs and much love, beautiful soul.